how are you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, where I blog about all the things that I've learned from and about the tarot cards. I also review decks and books, and I make tarot videos via this YouTube channel. And I also do tarot readings, and I also teach tarot. So, or if you just, if you know the card meanings, you just want to practice readings, we can do those kind of mentoring sessions as well. So whatever you need to do in the tarot world, so to speak, I can help you with that if you want. All right, the links, if you're interested, the links are in the description along with the video, so you can go check it out. But this video that I'm doing today is my monthly prediction video, the one I do for the following month. So we are in December of 2018 right now, and we will be stepping into 2019, and we will be going into January 2019. So this reading is for all the 12 signs of 2019. And since it's going to be an epic year, I chose the Epic Tarot, and I'm going to pair it up with the Rana George Lenormand. I'm not going to be using the extra cards. I'm just going to be using 36 cards of this deck, the Lenormand deck, that is. And I'm going to be using 78 cards of this Epic Tarot deck, and I'm going to go, pull cards for all the 12 signs. The timestamps will be in the description, so it makes it easy for you to just click on that to go there and to see the prediction which is for your sign. And as a general rule of thumb, I would like to advise that you check for both your sun sign and your moon sign and get combine those two readings to get a more fuller reading. If you know your moon sign, then it is also likely that you will also know what your rising or ascendant sign is. And so you can go check for that sign as well and add that into the mix. So that way you get a more thorough reading that is more kind of, suited for you. But if you still have questions, and of course we all do, you can always book a reading with me, and we can really get in depth with it. We can really get into the, all the aspects of it. We can ask the cards not just for prediction, but also for guidance on how to make things happen. So that's the best part about tarot, I feel, is not just that we are locked into a prediction, but we can also take action. The best action that suits you. All right, so with all of that, I'm going to go shuffle my decks and everything, and I will be right back. And in case you guys don't stick around till the end of the video and watch the wrap up, I will just quickly say, follow me on social media and all of that. Sign up for my newsletter, because I really have some very exclusive stuff for the newsletter coming up in 2019. And if you are, if you like all this, you can subscribe to my channel and all of that. And what else? Oh yeah, how did I forget? Happy New Year for 2019. All right, I'll go shuffle my deck now and see you in a bit. All right, so let's begin with the cards that we have pulled. For the first sign, we have Aries. And Aries, you get the Three of Cups in the reverse. And that is paired with the Moon, followed by the clouds. Okay, this is an interesting story. All right, let's look at this card upright so you can get a clearer idea of what I'm talking about. Three of Cups here, you can see all these three are gathered together around a cup, and they are kind of enjoying themselves, or they are having a good time. Three different people. This looks more like a royal person, a regular person, and a warrior, and they've gathered together around this cup. And Three of Cups is essentially the card which says, partake of this, because see, this cup is also giving out this really interesting smoke. So it's all about something beautiful, enchanting, interesting, and all, these three people coming from three different walks of life are going to enjoy whatever is there in this cup. Basically, it talks about coming together of different individuals for a common goal, for a common sort of emotional connection here, and getting together and having a good time connecting with each other. But in the reverse, the Three of Cups tells me a story which says that this is not a great month for you to connect with people, or if you are part of like a group of people who regularly connect, hang out, and like maybe go out for a drink or something, there's bound to be some issues cropping up there. And especially if this is your work friends, right? If this is friends from work or friends with whom you work with, then it's going to be a really difficult time for you. Why I say that? We have the Moon card, which talks about work, which talks about emotional stuff and connections also, but then it is followed by the clouds. So essentially, there's going to be a lot of disturbance. There's a lot of disconnect. There's a lot of, emotional disconnect as well as disturbances. Disagreements could happen because of this disconnect. All of this will happen, especially maybe related to your work colleagues or work friends. So be very, very aware of this, Aries, as you go into January, and be very careful. Be very clear in your communications, and so as much as possible you can avoid creating a problem, right? At least you can avoid creating a problem, but maybe you will face this, but from your side at least you might be in the clear. But this is what you're looking at in the month of January 2019. Again, clear communication will always help, so be sure that you are able to do that. Okay? All right, so that's Aries. Next up, we get Taurus. And Taurus gets the Nine of Books, which in this deck is the Wands cards. So we get Nine of Wands, and that is paired by, the Snake and the Garden. You have a snake in the garden, sir. Okay, Taurus. One thing you need to watch out for is a betrayer in your group or in your circle of friends. Garden is all about your friend circle. You can say it is similar to that earlier, Three of Cups card that we saw, friend circle. All right. So garden is your network, your friend circle, your group, your social circle, your community, and all of that. People who are always around you in your garden, so to speak. Very symbolic, the Lenormand. And then you have the snake in there, and the snake is a betrayer. Snake is a false friend, someone who comes and says all nice things to you, to your face, but then the moment your back is turned, she's going to start backbiting you, usually, very likely a woman. So this is going to be, and it's vicious, very vicious, snake always hissing poison. So be very careful. You have that snake in the garden. You have a betrayer in your midst. You have someone who is backbiting you or betraying you or saying bad stuff about you in your circle. That is what you will be facing. All right. And now let's look at the tarot card. We have again the Nine of Wands or Nine of Books. Right at the center of what looks like a grand automation or robot, you have a book. Okay. And you can see cities and citadels or whatever formed on his body there. And you also see he's kind of situated in the middle of a grand city too. So what they're trying to show is when an idea becomes so big that it spawns a lot of concrete things and many other working parts, like ideas that really take things into motion. But now that idea has become like a monster. It has grown so big and has gotten so many different and distinctive movable parts or moving parts that the idea at the core is probably forgotten. That's why this book is so tiny. but still there in this automation. But this automation has become so big, so sometimes you're literally losing the the core idea in all what you have created around that idea. And now that monster has become too big for you to handle. It is time for you to maybe step back and look at the big, really big picture here, and go back to what your core ideas or ideals were, and maybe strip away that monster, and cut off the parts which have really maybe not coming from that core point, which have diverged into different distinct areas and which are no longer really serving you. This monster is something that you have created. This again, very symbolic. Could be this person too, that you have encouraged this person so much that now he's become this person who will ultimately betray you and hurt you, right? And the core reason why you created this person or why you encouraged this person is something you have, it's forgotten in this whole entire story. So very, very, be very careful. Look out for this. Watch out for this. Pay attention to this. All right. And maybe it's time to go back to your basics. Okay, Taurus, it's going to be an interesting month for you for sure. All right. Next up, we have Gemini. Okay, Gemini, you guys get the Two of Swords. And I know you guys are considered to be the two-faced or dual-faced sort of characters in the entire zodiac. And it's interesting that you get the Two of Swords, especially with this, two-faced imagery here. Very, very interesting. That's why I laughed. Okay, so Gemini, you're going to be looking at a very difficult decision here in the month of January. And the reason is you're looking at either something that will be the right thing to do but will make you unhappy, or something that, will make you feel like you are, putting on a face of happiness but will not sit well with you in your heart. So again, it's both the choices are going to leave you kind of dissatisfied, to say the least. So it is literally something that you have to pick and choose from amongst, two bad options, which works for you. Okay. So it's going to be a tough month, but no matter what you choose, my general idea always is follow your heart. I know it is a swords card. Probably that's why that idea might actually work. Do at least go with, even if it makes you, makes you somewhere maybe unhappy, but following your heart might at least keep you satisfied in one department, maybe not in your head, but in your heart. Okay, just think about it. Oh my God. Okay, so the Lenormand says we have fish and we have the letter. All right, so fish letter means a document about money and resources. All right, so you will receive either some kind of information about money and resources, or you might literally receive a bank statement about your financial position, or you might be sitting down looking at your accounts and stuff like that. All kinds of things which are documented and which are money related will be happening. And maybe these choices could be related to the financial planning or monetary allocation of monetary resources, perhaps. Regardless, it's, whatever you do in this situation, it's not going to be a happy feelings kind of a situation. It's more like a logic-based decision that you will have to take. But whatever it is, again, like I said, follow your heart. At least one aspect of you will be somewhere, somehow satisfied with whatever it is that you are planning to do here. Okay, so next up we have the sign of Cancer, and Cancer gets the Four of Books or Four of Wands in this particular deck, and that is paired with Anchor and Dog. Okay, so nice. All right, Four of Wands. Things are moving pretty great for you. Look at this woman. She's walking around with her head in the book. She looks pretty happy. Around her, the world is good. point is, Four of Wands usually is a good card, a celebrations card, and here this Four of Wands talks about, you are really enjoying whatever it is that you are working on, that you are spending your time on. You're really, really having a good time. And so the month of January for you, Cancer people, will be an enjoyable month. Whatever you choose to do, whatever you choose to spend your time with, will be great fun and have, overall a good experience. Then you have the Anchor card, which is stability and, staying in one place, kind of grounded. And then you have the Dog card, which is the Loyal Friend card. So you have a dependable, loyal friend who's going to stick around, right? So you have a good friend who sticks around. You have a loyal friend who sticks around. You will have maybe even a good time spending time with this friend. And this guy is going to stick around. Again, depending on what the situation is, maybe the sticking around in the long run, because this is a long run card, the Anchor. So maybe he's going to stick around for a longer time than before. So again, it might be something you enjoy, it might not be something you enjoyed. But right here, right now, in the month of January, you're going to have a good time. And this friend is going to stick around and you're going to have a really, really nice time with this person. Okay? So this is, overall a good card. Cancerians, you're going to have a nice month in January. Okay. Next up is Leo. Leo, you get the Seven of Cups reverse. This is interesting. And that is paired with the Pathways and the Whip card. Okay then. Okay then. All right. See. Now in this deck, especially, I need to mention that because I have the Whip card here. In this particular deck, there are there are 4 extra cards, but 2 of them, the Bed card and the Marketplace card, I have included that. I know in the initial, build up to this video, I said that I will not be taking the extra cards. But when I saw them, I said, hey, these make sense. So I added them in there and I removed the extra Man and Woman cards. So the reason I'm saying all of that is because the Whip also carries the additional meaning of a sexual situation there. But since the Bed card has been added in, that has been removed from the meaning of the Whip. So now Whip can mean back and forth, and Whip can also mean anger. Okay, so now we are looking at different ways that go back and forth very, very angrily. Leo, you're going to have a very difficult month in January. You're going to be really upset about things and you're going to go back and forth in different ways trying to figure things out. And it's going to make you really upset and angry because things are just going to keep coming back at some point. Okay, now let's look at this Seven of Cups card here. Just check it out in the upright so you can see the clear picture. You can see this person is, he's put his hands over his eyes and there's a cup floating on top of him and he refuses to see what is right in front of him. The reason I'm saying refuses to see is because he's using his own hands to cup his eyes. It's not like he's been blindfolded, right? So he does not want to see what is right in front of him. However, with this card reverse, he may either be pushed into a position where he may have to, remove those hands from his eyes and he has to see what's right in front of him. So whatever your circumstances are this month, Leo, they are unavoidable. You cannot run away from them. You cannot avoid them and you literally cannot turn away from them. You can't even pretend to close your eyes and say, hey, if I can't see it, it does not exist. That option is not available for you in this month of January. And whatever different options are there in front of you that you are exploring, they will very likely come up not to a dead end, because that's not what I'm feeling. What I'm feeling is that they will circle back to some point which you don't necessarily like seeing, or they will go round and round and come back to a point or to a conclusion which is not something that you want to see, right? You are going to have to look at something that you have been kind of avoiding to look at or denying yourself to look at, and something that you don't want to look at. And round, it's going to keep coming back to that point where it says, look, you have to do this, you have to see this, you have to pay attention to this point. And it's not going to make you happy because, denial is what you have been living in about this particular issue. You have lived in denial for a very long time, and now the circumstances are going to literally force you to look at it, and it's unavoidable. You cannot run away from this, Leo. So maybe it's time you sat down and you looked at it and you did what you had to do about it, because no matter how much you run away, it'll keep coming at you, that, right? No matter how much you run away. So why don't you just sit down, take a look at it, and, just face this. Just face it. This is interesting because Leo is also my moon sign. So, All right. Next up, we have Virgo. And Virgo gets, the Hierophant. Nice. And that is paired with stars and tree. Okay. All right. The Hierophant talks about studies and learning, right? The Hierophant talks about wisdom and knowledge that comes from the old ways, that comes from following traditions and rules that were laid down since a long time. So you are going to maybe learn something or spend some time studying something, Virgo, and you're going to go about it in a very systematic and very sincere environment. Okay. And this literally, it's a systematic process of learning that you will have to put yourself through. You will go through it, you will learn it. Or either, if you're in this position, if you're a teacher, if you are someone who teaches, then this will be the process that you will put others through, right? Then on the other hand, you have stars, which is a lot of happiness and joy. And that is followed by tree, which is a health card and a family card. So what I'm seeing is there's a lot of, joyful health situations that will come up. Okay, so if this is a month where you are going to maybe do some kind of an health evaluation or something to do with health, you know what? That would have happened if the star comes after the tree card. Then I will say health, good news or nice news or whatever. Okay. Now this is good. This is happy. This is joyful. But then we come to the tree card. So what I'm sensing here is, okay, so I'm sorry, revising my interpretation. See, I'm human. All right. What I'm sensing here is there's a lot of good, fun, interesting stuff, especially maybe what you're going to be learning. But it's going to take time. Again, tree is something that grows slowly, right? And it is also the health card. So on that sort of level, what I will say is you will learn many tiny different things, which will all come together, good things about your health. So it could be that you might get online and learn a few interesting things to do with your health. And also all these things that you are learning or teaching will be something really good, and it will be related to health or health issues. Okay, so this is what I'm well, we're all human, but yeah, so this is going to be a lot of, interesting information to do with health that you will learn or teach, and it will all sort of come together somehow or the other. Or, if not health, it could relate to family too, because tree is also a family card. But again, this is something that will percolate over a period of time. It's something that happens slowly and gradually, because that's how the tree grows. It's a slow and gradual kind of a card there. So energy there. So this is something that you're not going to be sitting and learning in one go, but this is something where you need to spend some time working and learning, and gradually you will learn and grow. And it could be health related, it could be family related, but it is all really good, useful information, and it comes from all over. Like this, it follows a system and a process, but it comes from all over. into your life. Isn't that interesting? Okay. All right, so next up is Libra. Libra, you get the, this is this is the 6 of orbs or spheres, okay, reversed, and that is paired with coffin and house. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, now let's look at this 6 of pentacles or orbs card in the reverse, right? She has all these resources with her, like, all this gold and stuff that she stashed away in this cave. And this monster or this, creature is kind of saying, hey, help me, give me some, right? And look at her face. She doesn't look scared or afraid of him. So she knows this guy. And she's like, maybe. Why I'm saying that? Because look at that. The card actually came up reversed. So she is not open to sharing her resources with whatever, monster can be, a representation of some hardship or difficulty that she is facing. She has the resources, she has the ability to maybe handle it, tackle it, but she's not going to share, she's not going to help, she's not going to use it, to tackle it. So now how does that translate into a sort of a prediction here? Is that you have resources, you have what you need to kind of, fix whatever the problem is, or maybe help someone out with his or her problem. But for one reason or the other, you are not willing to share, you are not willing to help. You are therefore going to find yourself in a stuck position where even if you have the resources, you're not able to either solve your or someone else's problem. All right. And that paired up with the coffin, which is the ending, and followed by the home, which is kind of a sanctuary or stability card. So the ending, it remains safe and stable. That is what it says. So whatever has wrapped up and whatever has come to an ending, you're literally going to take that and make it a fixed, firm thing, right? You're literally going to do that. So it could be maybe, because you don't help out whoever you want, whoever has come to you for help, maybe this signifies a break, an ending between in this relationship, right? And because they will be like, hey, you have something, but you will not help me with it. So, okay, fine. And so that signifies a break in the relationship. And you're going to take that break, you're going to take that ending, and you're going to sit with it, and you're not going to really do anything about it. You're going to be like, okay, you know what? This is good. You'll consolidate the ending. That is the words that are coming in my head, actually. You take that ending and you consolidate it, you solidify it, and you say, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to sit with this because I like what this energy is. Maybe you viewed this because it's a monster, right? You viewed this person asking for help as some kind of a person who will constantly keep asking for help. And if you help this person, maybe he will never stop asking for help. That is probably your view, which is why you are refusing to help this person. And even if it ends, you're like, you know what, that's fine, because I'm going to consolidate this and I'm going to sit with this because this works for me in the long run. See, there's always a reason for something, and maybe this is a good reason. So if such a situation crops up and if such a feeling is there inside of you, go for it. This month will be bittersweet but worthwhile in this particular department. Okay, Libra. Okay. Next up, we have Scorpio, and Scorpio is the major arcana card number 8, or strength card. It's a very interesting strength card, actually. In the reverse, though, this one is. There you go. And that one comes with the bed and the marketplace. Oh my god, what a pairing. Now, here's the thing. Remember, I don't know if you watched the Gemini one, if you watched the full video, but I had said in there that this, the whip card has the additional meaning of a sexual connotation to it, and that's the bed card. So I took the bed card, the extra bed card from this deck. And the fox card has an additional employment, work related meaning, and so the marketplace card represents that. So it kind of separates the foxiness of the fox with from the the employment market kind of energy there. And now this pairing comes together. We have the bed and the marketplace. So an interesting pairing. So you will, again, by the bed doesn't necessarily mean sexual relations in the marketplace, but that's the literal translation of this pairing. Okay, or we are talking about very intimate connections in the workplace. Okay, by intimate, it could be that you are literally, sharing deep thoughts with each other, that kind of intimate, not necessarily sexually or physically intimate. But yeah, if it happens, man, it's showing up. Okay, I'm just saying, no judgments here. These things happen. We're humans. But we're talking about connections that go very, very deep, and they are formed in the marketplace or in the place where you work or the place where you are employed. All right. And this is interesting because paired up with the strength card in the reverse, right? This is a very different strength card. I'm just making it upright so you can see the picture here, right? This person in this card holds up a mirror, and this mirror is to the viewer or the person who's seeing the card. And in the mirror, you see this animal part of you reflected there. So what's going on really is that you are seeing the reflection of your animal nature, and you are confronting really your animal nature here, and you are using wisdom, knowledge, logic, intellect, feelings, everything at your disposal to control and tame that primal animal nature that you possess. However, in the reverse, this card is saying that you are not able to control your primal animal nature. You're letting it out. You're letting it wild. This can be because of ego. This can be because, you don't have your self-control. It could be a variety of reasons. And so this strength, which is really the inner strength, becomes an inner weakness or a weakness of your inner self. And what is happening is you might be prone to emotional outbursts. You might be prone to angry outbursts. You might be prone to reckless, restless behaviors and actions, or actions that you take when you feel reckless and restless. So it's going to be a very hard month. And again, you pair that up with the intimate or deep relationships that you form at the place of your work. I see that, you give in to your urges, animal urges or primal urges. And again, it's not a bad thing or a good thing. I'm not going to sit here and judge. You are going to do that for yourself, right? But you're literally going to give in to those urges, and those are going to lead you to form these kind of connections in the place that you work at. Again, this is very, very subjective. This meaning, you can take it, adapt it to your situation. But this is what I see. Very interesting. Just saying, right? And I'm nobody to judge because honestly, we've all been there. Really, I'm nobody to judge. But yeah, so. Yeah, so next up is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, this is the dragon of orbs in the reverse. So this is your King of Pentacles in the reverse. And it comes paired with Clover and Ship. Wow, okay. Literally a lucky break that gets things moving. So a lucky break in terms of your business, lucky break in terms of even your vehicle. So if there is some issue with your car or with your vehicle, where, maybe in terms of finding me, that's one thing just popped in my head. If you're looking for a particular spare part or a part that'll get your truck fixed or your car fixed, and you've been looking for it, and you literally have a lucky break, you'll find that part and that'll get things going for you. So whoever it applies to out there, the universe has sent you that message. Otherwise, if you're working for yourself, it's your business, it's whatever it is, things that need to be moving forward, you will get a lucky break. Things will get moving for you, Sagittarius, in this month of January 2019. Now, let's look at this one. We have the Dragon of Orbs, or the King of Pentacles here. And this card essentially talks about someone who has mastered the material realm. He has, like the dragon, he's all noble and ferocious, but he has mastered this realm. But in the reverse, his mastery is a little dicey, to say the least. Not because it's probably because he doesn't have 100% or complete control over his realm. So there's something missing there. There's something not quite right there. You, King of Pentacles, and you, Sagittarius, you need to sit down and you need to look at your financial situation, your situation with your material resources. And if you want things to get going, yes, universe is going to give you that lucky break that will get things going. But you need to also look at the long-term picture of what it is that you are doing with your life, especially in terms of the material aspect of your life. And you need to get on top of things. You need to get to a complete mastery there. Something you're not completely paying attention to what's going on, and that's going to be, maybe down the line, could cause you some issues, some problems. So watch out. Okay? All right. Next up, we have Capricorn. Four of Cups. Interesting. And you have Heart, Birds. Okay. Well then, Capricorn, Four of Cups. All right. Four of Cups. Do you see this picture? Do I need to talk more? You are literally sitting at the brink of things, and you're like, oh yeah, well, okay, I'm going to take a nap now. I'm not really interested in whatever's going on. Or maybe whatever is going on isn't all that interesting enough for me. So Capricorn, you're going to be spending a lot of time feeling dull, listless, lethargic, bored. Month of January. Actually, it is your time, right? December end to about mid or endish of January is kind of your time. What is wrong with you? Get back in there. Pay attention to whatever it is. Or maybe, whatever this whole thing is, it's bored you already, whatever it is. But you know what? If you disconnect from whatever is going on simply because you feel dull and bored, you're literally going to miss out on a lot. And here's the thing, you have Heart followed by Birds. Birds is all about chatter and conversation, and could be argumentative also. And Heart is all about love. It's all about feelings. It's all about doing and anything and everything, people and things and whatever that you love, that you feel joyful, happy love for. And so there's going to be a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of discussion. There might be a few arguments related to with the one you love, or about the one you love, or related to the one you love, or the things that you love. I know it's all about, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, discussions going on about all the things and people that you love. And maybe because of that, you are going to be like, I'm stepping out of this. I'm not part of this. I'm taking a time out. I'm giving myself a time out, whatever it is, because you don't like. If I know Capricornians well, you guys don't really like it when others discuss your situations or your emotions or feelings, and you think more than enough for yourself. And when others sit down, make you the topic of discussion, maybe you guys just want to tune out. So it could be you could be facing these situations and you might want to tune out, which is okay, but don't tune out of life itself. All right? I understand this. My sun sign is Capricorn too, so I get it. I do. But don't tune out of life itself, okay? And I understand this card too. I've been there. It's okay to be there once in a while, but not all the time. So be Be aware. Make sure you keep yourself cheerful and focused. Okay? All right. Next up is Aquarius, and Aquarius gets the 10 of orbs or 10 of pentacles in the reverse, and that is paired by bear and dagger. Bear and cross. Why do I say dagger? It looks like a dagger. Bear and cross. Okay. So 10 of pentacles reverse. 10 of pentacles again. It's a card of all kinds of, you see, it's all very, you know, happy family satisfaction kind of a card here, right? And paired with bear, and bear is all about savings, and cross is all about burdens. Okay, so savings become a burden. It becomes difficult to save. Okay, and 10 of pentacles reverse basically means that money is a little tight. Not so much that threaten your existence, but you know, you get a little less than what you are expecting. Again, you know, in terms of family, there is, you know, family bond, connection, time, etc. But something is not quite there yet. Something is a little bit kind of missing there. So Aquarius, you're going to be maybe spending time away from family, or even if it is with family, you feel pretty disconnected from them. If there is money that you're meant to receive this month, you or you know, due to you and all of that, you might receive a little bit less than what you are expecting, which might put some burden on your savings, and which might create some, you know, issues, especially tension in your mind that, hey man, I have to, you know, spend from my savings maybe to get, you know, to meet the needs of my family. And so it'll be like, not so much a desirable situation for you. Okay. So if it's possible to spend less right now, do that. Okay. Okay. And last up, we have Pisces, and Pisces gets the Judgment card. And that is paired with, the fox and the ring. So it is a crafty deal, a crafty promise. All right. And then Judgment talks about, you know, listening to some kind of an internal wake-up call. You find the freedom from a long-running cycle of whatever it is. Maybe troubles, maybe issues. Finally, things start to wrap up, and you are now finding yourself free from the clutches or the grip of that karmic cycle. And you're like, okay, finally, I can breathe a little. I can, you know, ease up a little. And then you're dealing with something very shady, very foxy, very cunning and smart. And what is it? It's a deal. It's a promise, right? So if you're going to be making deals or making promises, either you're the fox or you're, you know, at the receiving end of the fox. You decide. But the point is that this is a very cunning deal. This is a very smart deal, but very cunning regardless, and very, very sneaky way of, you know, making things happen. There's a very sneaky contract or sneaky deal that you will be looking at. Again, depending on where you're at, either you're the fox or you're at the receiving end of this particular ring. Whatever it is, depending on where you're at, it might be something that works for you or something that does not work for you. So Pisces, be very careful, even as you are, you know, wrapping up a long-running issue that's been plaguing your mind, and you're finally seeing, okay, finally I can see the light at the end of this tunnel, and things are looking like they're easing up. This kind of sneaky, crafty promise comes along. Whether this is going to help this situation or not is something you have to decide, and you have to go accordingly. Okay? All right. So this was the prediction for the month of January 2019 for all the 12 signs. And I hope that this will help you and guide you as you go through that month. Again, if you have stuck around till the very end, thank you so much for watching the entire video. I really do appreciate it. I also would love it if you followed me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you prefer, whichever social media platform is your thing. And also, please sign up for my newsletter, because like I said earlier, I'm going to be starting something really lovely and really exclusive to the newsletter. It will not be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. It will only be for my newsletter subscribers. So I hope you guys like that too. So I will see you again. Since this is literally the last video I will make for 2018, I will see you again next year in 2019. Until then, I hope you have a lovely, lovely holidays and a lovely, lovely New Year's. And I will see you next year. And until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.